Good morning. The third match in a group stage can often be the surprise match with surprise results because teams are only looking to get out of the group, and if they've already done that, as you can see, just a single 1-0 win for Spain when it should have been a battering. 1-1 there as well. And the Germany match, a 1-1 with Switzerland when Switzerland were leading. So our focus, like the end of the season, is on matches of importance like Scotland-Hungary, for example, Croatia-Italy, and Netherlands-Austria, arguably. France and Poland, well, Poland had to get something out of this. France, if the manager had any nous, he'd have completely changed the lineup here. No, well, he put out some... we had Barcola, Koundé. I don't know if they made multiple changes, but France, pretty much safe as houses. Austria, topping the group, and thoroughly deserving to as well. Poland, yet another Danny Dyer display from Poland. Goal difference -3. You can't rely on Lewandowski. Simple as that. Who scored first would have determined any play. Well, Kylian Mbappe via a penalty. So I wouldn't necessarily have taken that on. Netherlands and Austria, you'd have been with both teams to score here. Austria scoring first via Marlin. Not sure if they were gettable. It wasn't an own goal. But they've got such firepower in them, the Austrians, and a fantastic win. Nothing more I can say, really. They are the dark horses at the moment. But the key at this stage is to get out of the group. So I wouldn't be panicking if I was an England fan at a 0-0. They've accomplished their goal. They're out of the group as the top team. Denmark and Slovenia, I don't know what they're going to do in this case. It's absolutely identical form with second and third. Maybe it's on head-to-heads, I would suggest. So England have done their job. Okay, they're out of the group. So no major panic. It's a tournament. Cole Palmer did get a run out, but I think they're saving the key man for a little bit later in the competition. Similar story, Denmark and Serbia. Again, would you have taken those 0-0s on, knowing it was a third group match? So, third group match is very difficult. Now we're going to have a bit of a break. I think, or we may have some matches today, and I think Thursday is when it starts getting quiet. Tennis-wise, yesterday, it was a pity. I showed you on Telegram some of the matches I focused on with the stars. But yesterday's result, we were oh so close. We had yet another 5-2. Let's see if I can find the match for you. So it's Cameron Norrie against Ruusuvuori. Lost via a tiebreaker in the opener. So that was my argument to get involved. A Brit in Eastbourne with home support. And Ruusuvuori, 88th in the world. The ranking not that good. Let's have a look at this second set. I'll show you why we were so unlucky here. 5-2 for me is a key scoreline, particularly when the player 5-2 down is serving next. If he gets that, then he can push on and break the serve, which he nearly did. This was how close we were to a profit. 2 break points from Cameron Norrie to make this 4-5 and to bring this back on serve. So you see the difference between tennis and football trading. It's just the tightness of lurching from profit to loss. 2 break points turned into 1 match point for Ruusuvuori. That's how close we were to making a very nice green screen on that one. The other 2 plays I did yesterday, I got involved very late and at low liability, which is the way I like it. But we didn't get much change yesterday. Raducanu, I don't know where this 6th love came from. I don't know if Sloane Stephens was injured. But looking at Sloane Stephens' first set, the reason I got involved at low odds with Raducanu. I would have put her as a bit flaky, given the just had buckets of money thrown at her. Maybe that was going to put her off. But in the first set, it was only a single break. Well, no, it was many. Lost serve. Look at the amount of break points on the Raducanu serve that Sloane Stephens had managed, and I put my faith in that. 1, 2, 3 there, 4, 5 there, and a real battle at the end for Sloane Stephens to stay in the match. So in the first set. So for me, there was plenty from Sloane Stephens to suggest that she could do similar second set, but then it suddenly went all Lionel Blair on me. So I don't know if Raducanu just clicked, if Sloane Stephens had a minor injury, but based on the first set, it was low liability. It was about 1.13, I think, or 1.2. So it was not a great loss. But it was the Norrie one which really stuck in the throat. 2 break points could have got us very nicely indeed. Looking on to today, and again, we're dealing with the final matches in the group. So you've got to check that these teams, Slovakia, Romania, have something to play for. Well, yes, every single player, the team is on 3 points. So this is wide open. Slovakia, Romania, Ukraine, Belgium. Must wins. So we've got a stark contrast to yesterday. These are all must wins. Very, very tight Group E. So check out these and look at this. The favourite is the draw. Now that's only something you see at end of season Italian lower leagues. Sometimes the draws there are odds on. So that's very interesting. The draw is the favourite. Take the hint. You might not want to be laying the draw in this particular match. Do read the previews. A draw could see them sneak in as one of the best third place teams for Romania. Need to win. Slovakia need to win against Romania, while a draw could see them sneak in. Romania haven't progressed from the Euros since 2000. Need to avoid defeat to be sure of advancing. So that's why the draw is the favourite here. The draw helps both teams. And you saw yesterday we had a couple of 0-0s. Are we going to be taking the 0-0s on today when the draw is the favourite? I'm not too sure. Ukraine and Belgium. Well, this is a case of bad luck for Belgium. 3 goals scored by Romelu Lukaku, all VAR'd out. Ukraine, some impressive performances, particularly in that win against Romania. I thought that was excellent. And the comeback against Slovakia. Sorry, the Romanian. The comeback from Slovakia in response to the loss to Romania. That's what I'm trying to get across. Very good performance against Slovakia. I should have really played as a trader. But I do find these one-off competitions very difficult to get the handle in as a trader and have the trust when we're dealing with football, particularly the football I like, which is summer, August to April football. We've got a mountain of stats to work off, which does make reading the football matches very, very easy compared to a European Euros match. Would you take those 0-0s on? No, I wouldn't. Not on the last match. With the Premier League last season, we can just have a look at pick one team out and you can see how we can use the stats or how beneficial it is to trade league football as opposed to international football. Just taking one of these. Just heading off to the challenge table will give you more information than you'll ever get in trying to solve a Euros match. Challenge table, for example, you would look at both teams scoring and Fulham not beating any top 5 team. You'd look at Fulham against the bottom 5, tending to have over 2.5 goals, over 3.5 goals, scoring 2+ goals, generally speaking. And if they do concede, they don't lose. So these are the patterns you immediately see. What's the international equivalent of a challenge table. We don't have one. It would be great if we did. I would love to see a table where you've got the rankings 1 to 100, and then you can see how the teams performed in the most recent matches. Then you can get a pattern. But we don't have this with these internationals. Ukraine and Belgium, it fits in with your lay the draw later on. This is a must win. So rather than England and Denmark yesterday in targeting the draw, certainly target the draw. Ukraine and Belgium, this certainly gets a star. Czech Republic and Turkey, 2.7 the favourite, tells you the market hasn't got a clue here. We don't know how to work this one. Czech Republic will need to pick up at least a point against Turkey, give themselves a chance of progressing in Group F. Failure to win will see them end a group stage without a victory for only the second time in the Euros history. The Turks will also be the route that Turkey take through the knockout rounds, although with 3 points on the board already, hopes will be high for a top 2 finish. Failing to win 5 games, they were very, very good against Georgia, weren't they, the Turks? But they were taken apart by the pork and cheese. Let's have a look at this group. Portugal, I suggest, are cruising. They are going through. So be careful with the Portuguese match late on. It's a dead rubber for the Portuguese, at least. Turkey, if they can get a draw, that will take them out of the clasp of the Czech Republic and Georgia. So a draw is only required for Turkey. Do bear that in mind. So if they've got a late Czech Republic 1-0 win, you might want to take the Czechs on in the hope that Turkey get the draw that they need for that second place. Portugal, dead rubber. So watch out for team changes, particularly in some of the Joe Biden-aged players like Cristiano Ronaldo and Pepe. Pepe the pensioner in defence. So dead rubber for Portugal. Ignore that. 1.38. You saw the German match the other day. Didn't need to win. And didn't win. All the way back here. Odds on favourite. Didn't need to win. Didn't win. So this is the problem we have tackling, as you can see, limping over the line in a match which wasn't a must win. 1.3 favourite in the third match in a group stage, not winning. 1.25 favourite, not winning. Odds on favourite, not winning. So don't take the market to heart with Portugal. Wonderful on paper, but a manager with a brain cell or two will surely be ringing some changes here. This is a tournament. Use your squad. So that's it today. I'll be up for the 5s. You can still hear I've got a bit of a head cold. It's just messing with me. I don't know where I picked it up. But curses to whoever passed it on. Looking on to today's tennis. And Wimbledon is just round the corner. What I'll do in Friday's e-letter, which will be available to you on the Football Trading Profits website, or sign up at footballtradingprofits.com/free letter. We'll be talking about what I've learnt from the tennis. Would also be yesterday, for example, there's Cameron Norrie. What I did yesterday, I could have got a break even yesterday by laying Ruusuvuori when his odds went down to 1.06, because Cameron Norrie did fight back in the second set. Ruusuvuori's odds went down to 1.06 because he fought back after, I think, that 3-5 here. We got this up to 1.25 for Norrie when he generated these break points. That, if you lay Ruusuvuori and lay him again at shorter odds, you can average the break even to lower odds. So my break even point was 1.2 for Norrie, and I could have got out there and there with a break even. So do remember that. It's called averaging. Particularly when it's 1.06, it's going to cost you an extra 3 or 4 quid to add to your stack on Norrie. and it will also lower your break-even point all the way down to 1.22, as I say, for Ruusuvuori's odds, which is excellent, considering he was a set and a break-up. So that's something to talk about in the e-letter. We'll also be looking at Wimbledon in the e-letter as well, how I like to approach Grand Slams. And let's hope that the rain stays away, because we didn't really have a good shot at the French Open because of the rain affected weather. We're also going to be looking at getting out if it doesn't go your way in the tennis. You can see with those two break points for Norrie, had they been converted, we would have leapt into a green screen. But if they're not converted, how do you tackle that? Do you give them another chance for a third break point? This is the difference for me between tennis and football trading. It's just working in eliminating your liability in the tennis. So that's something, rather than taking the full loss. But looking on to today, any familiar names in the qualifiers? Rado Albert, Herbert. He won yesterday, I believe. Bonsai, mate. Struth, mate. It's not even Australian. Struth. It's the Bonsai. And Kukushtan, familiar names. Damir Zumir. So we've got a few familiar names at 11 a.m. Richard Gasquet. Very good performance from Richard yesterday. It'd be great to see him at Wimbledon. David Goffin has been playing on the Challenger circuit, trying to get fit again. Very strong favourite today against Uchiyama. David Goffin we know very well indeed. But he's on the comeback trail at the moment, playing in lower tier tennis. Mapeshi Perekar is a familiar name recently, 59th in the world. That's my problem in these qualifiers, is the favourite can often be quite a highly ranked player. And he's playing a fellow Frenchman as well, who might know his game well. Bellucci, I've followed a little. Anyone else? Mr. Duckworth with his fantastic... Oh, no, I keep getting him mixed up with the other one. He's not the one with the fantastic mullet. But Jack Duckworth, well, keep an eye on him. Don't forget, this is to get in to Wimbledon. So Quentin Hallis might get something out of Clark here. The Brit, second set. El Harris, odds on. So lots and lots of familiar names. Lucas Pouille and Jiri Vesely. He's not too shabby on grass, Jiri Vesely. Remember, he gave, I think he gave Federer or Djokovic a hell of a match at Wimbledon. So lots and lots of familiar names in these qualifiers, which I don't normally play, but I'll keep an eye on for you today. Let's hope that we get a little bit more luck. Nice to see a Thai player at Wimbledon. It's part of my visa regulations that I've got to support Tara Rudi today. All the best for Tara Rudi. Any familiar ladies today? We saw Chloe Paquet. I'll keep an eye on her. She is a dogged battler, even when not favourite, but more so in front of French support in the French Open. But she put in a good performance yesterday, won the first set, lost the second, won the third quite convincingly. She's not favourite today, but she might make Stakusic work. And again, we're talking about lowly ranked players here, 115th against 164th. So I think Chloe Paquet is going to be putting in a battling performance. My kind of player, this one. She will give you 110% and cover every blade of grass. Anyone else? The ladies, I don't know that well. Andreeva got through yesterday. Anisimova, familiar name. Don't forget, this is their equivalent of a Grand Slam. If they don't win, they're out. So bear that in mind if the favourite loses the first set. Just keep an eye on this Zavatska against Niga. As you can see, two familiar players both from the Ukraine might know each other's game quite well. Harris against Broome. Don't have a clue on this one, but it's a battle of the Brits. Good to see. Ruusuvuori came through yesterday quite impressively against a Brit, Cameron Norrie. Now he's reverted to odds on favourite today. You saw that with Milos Raonic. The market tend to get him right when he's outsider he tended to lose. When he was odds on, he tended to win. So we might see that from Russell today. So old Shang, which is Guernsey slang for a push bike, a Shang. If he wins the first set, I think I would get involved here. Very good set. Very good service game. That's what I'm looking at from Russell yesterday. That would be it. Cobley and Hussey. Might get something from Hussey, the Brit, in Eastbourne. And my old mate, Taylor Fritz, even though he didn't get us a profit in his last match, he is very reliable ordinarily. Watch out for retirements, and we've seen a lot of them recently prior to a Grand Slam. We had a whole raft of them at the weekend. I don't know many of these. I know Fabio Fognoni, and he is a class act. He's there to pick up a suntan, I think. What a wonderful place to go, Mallorca. I'd love to go back. Wozniacki won in an interrupted match, in her last match, but I don't think she's quite got it anymore. Was her? Navarro might be layable if leading, playing a fellow American. And Haddad Maia is quite a high-ranked player, 20th in the world. So I would expect of her today as well. Lots and lots of tennis today. Madison Keys, a familiar name as well. Her teeth nearly as beautiful as Jurgen Klopp's. Magdalena Machova. Hilary Dart. Well, this could be a three-setter, so I'll keep an eye on that one. But we've got to see if we can solve or create a stop loss or something for the tennis, because it's different. It's a different animal than football to trade. I tend, with my tennis plays, to leave them to play out, particularly their losses, and that turns it into betting, doesn't it? You don't have an out. Yelena Ostapenko, fancied by some for Wimbledon. So this is going to be a bit of a battle. Katie Boulter has been excellent, but she did have a retirement a couple of matches ago. She's really caught the eye, Katie Boulter. Might be one for you to back for Wimbledon. This is the one that I was worried about in Birmingham. She retired, but she came back against Martic. I don't know if this was the cause for this, but this could be a three-setter. I would certainly consider taking on the first set winner here. Raducanu, I couldn't back with stolen money, I'm afraid. Even though she got that 6-0 second set against Stevens, I still wanted to take her on. Elise Mertens coming off the back of a retirement, which lost us money. So she did win her last match. I'm not too keen on trusting her this. So I'll see you throughout the day. I hope we'll get a little bit more luck, because 10 times out of 10, I would have picked Cameron Norrie yesterday under those circumstances. And as I say, those 2 break points, had one of them been converted, would have been singing the praises of yet another green screen today. Football, play the matches which are must-wins. Okay? You could arguably take on Portugal today. Turkey and the Czech Republic, well, there's just that draw is alive. And don't forget, the draw is the favourite in the Slovakia-Romania match. So be very, very careful about laying that late draw or laying a 0-0 here, because a draw suits. I'll see you telegrammers throughout the day. Hopefully we get a bit of better luck on the tennis. I probably won't see you for the 8 o'clocks. You can see it. I'm still struggling a little bit. You should buy some Kleenex shares, because I'm going through the Kleenex considerably. So that's my one tip for you today. Buy some Kleenex shares and some Lockets shares. Have a great day, and footballtrainingprofits.com members, I'll see you on Telegram throughout the day.